and what his conversation was like, because I knew he wasn't a politician, but I knew that he had been president before, and I wanted to see if he was a real, authentic man who actually cared for the American people.
Hello, hello, hello. I am so sorry. I had to redo a link. Actually, let me send this proper link to the proper people while I'm here. Because I actually had an issue. As you guys can see from my last lives, I am a smoker. And I had like a little issue just now. Every foreign day. And I probably have to remove the previous one. But here we go. Welcome, everyone, to a buddy check. I need to set up, before I move any further, I need to set up my spaces. So if you could just bear with me. If you are logging in and you wish to participate verbally, give your opinion, I'm going to put the spaces, let's see, link, there we go. Okay. This is a one-woman show, so please bear with me while I put this together. And okay, yes, you guys can hear me, and hopefully you could hear me in spaces as well. So I am just going to what I'm going to do is share this on my X account. So if you're on X, you could jump on over. I am under the loon. If you want to find me on X, is at loon50. Okay. And let me see. Let me go ahead, and I want to share it somewhere else. All right, my shopping just started. You know, we have to do what we have to do. All right. And I'm going to get started in a few minutes. Just give me a few moments to set a few things up. All right, everybody. Okay, so let's start this. Today's theme is working through the holidays blues, which I'll explain that whole theme in a moment. But like everybody check from November moving forward, I already said we are going to start each one with the serenity prayer. So here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I said that incorrectly, so I'm going to repeat it again. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. My disclaimer for everybody check is I am not a medical a professional. I am not a counselor. I am a veteran who's been through a lot, and I believe in the concept of buddy check, and this is my way of contributing to my buddies that have served, and this is our moral support. So, that being said, if you feel that you know somebody, or you feel that this video might be beneficial to someone who have served, who needs to just check in and just vent or whatever, please please subscribe, and you will be notified of every new post that I do, even my lives, and share with that person you think might need it. Okay. Now, that being said, in the link in the comments, I have posted my link to X, where I am I am also broadcasting on Spaces. So if you want to come on board and actually have a discussion with me, feel free. I'm open to that. I welcome it. We all need somewhere to vent, and sometimes we just don't have that outlet. So feel free. So let's go to the theme of the month. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Buddy Check is held every 22nd of the month. Depending on what day it falls, is depending on what time I will schedule it. So if you subscribe, you will be informed when I post my Buddy Check live. Okay, I do have other lives that I do that is not associated with Buddy Check. So just make sure that when you hit for notifications, that you are aware of which one you are hitting for. Okay? Now, the theme is getting through the holiday blues. Now, the holiday blues is not something that is unique to those who have served and those who are currently serving. Those who have served knows what I'm talking about, currently serving. I'll explain that for those who might happen to come upon this video and want some more explanation. But the holiday blues is something that occurs to a lot of people. It is considered the dark time of the year. We just passed winter solstice, which is the shortest day, the longest nights. So in the last month or so, you guys have experienced that it gets the sun comes up later in the day, and the sun sets earlier. So basically, when I worked at the call center, we used to, how can I say, I can't say joke around, but we used to always say, we get up to go to work and it's dark, and we leave home and it's dark, and it is a depressing time, which is why I feel this should be addressed, especially coming that this is the week of Christmas. A lot of people are not close to family, whether it be emotionally, physically, or whatever. A lot of people can't get to family. This has been a very horrendous year for a lot of people financially. So the thought of traveling is not feasible for a lot of people. And there's a lot of people who are just down and out. I mean, sometimes you just can't get what the wish list for Santa is for the kids. You can't fulfill that wish that you want for somebody else. That might make their life easier. So how do you get past this? How do you get past the blues, the holiday blues, which is something that I have to admit, has been something that I've been struggling with since the holiday season started around Thanksgiving. And it's been a little difficult, as it is for many of us. Now, I have to start this by saying you have to realize that you are precious. You are precious to somebody, whether you know it or not. There is somebody who is, how can I say, they feel blessed because you're in their life. They may not say it because most people like to remain anonymous. But they'll show it. They'll ask you how you're doing. And of course, we give the BS answer of, oh, I'm doing fine. Everything's great. Perfect. I have no worries. But you do. We all do. That's life. That's how it works. But during this season, it's a little bit harder. And yesterday, I have to bring this up. My fondest memory. Oh, let me rewind here. I said I was going to touch upon soldiers who have the holiday blues. When you are serving in the military, and I'm going to talk about for the United States because I only served in the United States, you're away from home. And like I mentioned before, sometimes it's not feasible to get back home to your family, whether it's financially, taking time off. You might even be deployed. Not going to get into that, but those who know knows. So going home for the holidays may not be a reality. So you're stuck with your buddies, which as you grow in the years of serving, your buddies do become family, but it doesn't replace family. So some people do get upset, they do get depressed, but we used to do something. We There was either a family that invited single soldiers into their homes, or there was a family that they held events on Christmas Day or leading up to Christmas. I don't know if this organization exists if you're in the service, and I'm talking to the service members that are currently serving right now. There's BOSS. I don't know if BOSS still exists, which is meant to help the single soldiers, feel more incorporated and have that sense of family. That being said, yesterday, I saw one of the worst occurrences that happened. Now, part of my time was I spent 3 years in Germany. And believe it or not, around Christmas, Germany was like the best time I've ever had. And it's a feeling that I always try or wish I could reproduce since I've came back home. Now, a little back history. Germany always has festivals. They're big on festivals. Their festivals are like, I'm sorry, to me, they're the best. They are the best. Coming from a West Indian woman, it's awesome. This does not change for Christmas time. During Christmas time, they have this wonderful festival called Christkindlmarkt. You could tell by the name, Christmas Mart. And during this mart, this is where you could go to the nice places and get your nice handmade, custom-made Christmas gifts, which my family used to delight in because that's where I got most of the gifts that I shipped back during Christmas. And while you're going through, you smell the fireplaces going. And I have to set this mood because it's so beautiful. You smell the fireplaces going, which is in town, not too far away, and it fills the air. All despite the fact that it's cold, you don't mind walking through this mart. They have the what was that drink called? Glühwein. The Glühwein, which was apple cider. their version of apple cider. And my favorite dish, which I still haven't gotten the Dutch oven to make it, dumfadoodle. And you could go, I gained so much weight due to dumfadoodle. And if you ever look up the recipe, it ain't nothing but bread with syrupy sauce, and you could either top it with poppy seeds or what was mine, vanilla sauce. Anyway, I could taste it right now. And so a lot of people, this is a tradition for them. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday, and I did look at the footage, and even when I edit this, I will not show that footage because it is horrendous. Someone decided that they were going to take their car and speed through one of these festivals. It broke my heart. It broke my heart also that of the school shooting that happened, I think in Wisconsin. I may be incorrect on that. Don't quote me on that. I try not to look at news like that, but unfortunately it comes up, and unfortunately this is the state of the world. We need to take a moment. There's a reason why I was so detailed with my memory of the Kris Kringle Mart, because ever since I came back from Germany, and mind you, for those of you who's tuning in now, a little background from me. I am first generation American. I served the United States of America because this is my country. This is where I was born. This is where I was raised. I did grow up in a household that was West Indian, so I grew up with West Indian culture. So when I was honored enough to serve, when I was honored enough to serve in the military, I embrace every experience. And my experience was enriched by my buddies. My buddies educated me on the history of this country, and I'm still being educated at the prime age of 51. My buddies educated me on parts of the history of this country I didn't know, particularly the culinary part. And so I got to taste a real hamburger. No offense to McDonald's, and I don't mean to offend them, but no, I got to taste real hamburgers. I got to taste real barbecues. And when I traveled overseas, I got to taste the culinary arts of that country. True, authentic. Now, why am I talking about the food and everything else in these Kris Kringle Marts? How does this help you get past the holiday blues? There's a saying, me being a woman, that they tell us women that a ways to a man's heart is through his stomach. That's not necessarily correct. A way through anybody's heart is through their stomach. If you can go down, something to do with it. Now, I am not telling you to get gluttonous. Holiday blues. What I'm saying is, think back to that one dish that makes you happy. Because this is all, you need to remember what it is to be happy. And a wonderful memory, a wonderful moment is always connected to food. Hold on a minute. I think I'm having problems with my spaces, so I'm going to end it since there's nobody there, and I'm just going to stick to the YouTube and see if my quality gets better from there. Okay, so if you I have a transmission issue sometimes with my Wi-Fi. So if it freezes, I do apologize. When a train passes by, it causes issues. I do apologize for that. So let's go back to this. All right, so it's usually connected to food. For example, I was talking about the Kris Kringle mark, Doodle. It is a dish I have not yet mastered. I will master it. I'm telling you, that is one of my goals. Um, but it's something that brings great memory to me. Um, I have Christmas in my household was not a big eat day. So it was get up and have a breakfast, eggs, bacon, or whatever one of my many siblings would choose to have. And dinner was whatever my mom and my dad felt like having. One year it might be steak. One year it might be chicken. We didn't eat a lot of ham. My dad was not a fan of it. So that's another thing I learned how to make correctly through the American culture and everything. Okay. Again, why am I talking about food? Again, I have to say, I'm not saying to be gluttonous, but what I'm saying is make your favorite dish. One of my goals for the holidays, uh, obviously, if you're looking at this, I am nowhere near Italian. But one of the things I want to experience, and I'd like to share with my friends that I've met since I've left the service, is having I think it's called the 7 dishes of seafood with me and my friends and host a dinner. Okay, maybe you don't have enough friends to have such a big thing. I don't. And my friends that are that way are either allergic to shellfish or they're vegan. So yeah, that's not an option. But maybe you want to create yourself a mini dish. Make yourself a special dinner. Don't wait for Christmas. Make it for yourself every day. Make it an occurrence. Um, make it an occurrence. Make it something that you do on your own. Another thing that you can do. I mean, I'm into the culinary arts, so you have to eat. You really do. I mean, you need to put substance in there for you. Give me one moment. Okay, so maybe you want to go ahead and use this time to work on that one dish. It doesn't have to be a holiday dish. Bake your favorite cookies. And my favorite thing, although I don't have the opportunity to do it, is donate your time. This is buddy check. So I'm checking in on you. I'm also checking in with you. And I also want to provide options for you to get past the blues. Because like I said before, you're special. You're special, you're wanted, you're needed. And we could donate. We as ex-soldiers, we serve. That's what we do. There are a lot of people out there. Um, Yesterday I woke up in the morning and there was snow on the ground, which surprised the mess out of me. I have someone in my life who thinks it's going to be a white Christmas, and I already see the snow melting, so we'll see what happens. But there are a lot of people who are out there who don't get a nice hot meal and didn't have cover during this snowfall. There's a lot of soup kitchens you could volunteer for. There's drives. This is the season for drives. There are coat drives. There are food drives, and my favorite one, the Marines toy drive. And if you have the cash, which I know a lot of people are strapped for at this point, you could buy that toy at, let me see, probably Walmart, even the Dollar Tree. Um, Big Lots is closing out. They, from what I understand, so you could donate your time. This is a time of giving. And if you're getting the holiday blues, the blues that this season brings about, donating your time and efforts shows that you can still contribute. You still matter in somebody's life, even if it's somebody you've never met before. Now, the holiday blues is due to a lot of things. It's a scientific thing. I did mention that, I think, at my last buddy check last month. And it's due to the season, the weather. We're kind of in a hibernation mode at this point. You want to sleep. Trust me, I feel it. I sit at work and it's cold outside. I can't step out for my cigarettes like I like to. And I'm stuck inside and I'm like, I just want to close my eyes and go to sleep. This is what the nature does to us. But we have to counteract that by being productive. Yeah, we like to stay fit. Well, not all of us, because some of us, once we got our DD-214, we were like, we're done with this run for miles crap. And although people will laugh at me for that, it is a true fact. Give me 1 minute while I need to, I'm running out of batteries. Give me a minute and I will charge my batteries. I'm sorry about that. I will edit that out for later viewing. Okay. As I was saying, so we don't want to work out anymore. It's funny, I was talking to another former military person that I work with. No, we did not serve together. And we were talking about how, yeah, we're kind of done. We got out the service and we didn't want to work out anymore. But maybe not going for a run, going for a walk. Fresh air helps. Get rid of the blues, part of it at least. Going for a walk, doing some type of exercise. Part of buddy check is reaching out. So you may be in a bad place, but maybe you're in contact with one of your other buddies that you served with, or maybe somebody you met going to the VA. Reaching out, giving them a call. I'm an advocate for therapy as well. So possibly going for therapy, talking to a therapist. This is one of the hardest, outside of an anniversary of a tragic event. This is one of the hardest time of seasons for most people but mostly for soldiers. Um, and we have to try to keep ourselves in an upbeat mode. I have my weekly recording. I just started earlier today. Is weekly charge up, and I did a reading for Thanksgiving. It was basically a Thanksgiving prayer that I read out. So if you want to, you could check out my channel and you could review that. But I think if you find yourself in that space, first call 988 option 1. There's always somebody there waiting to talk to you. But you can also get your own therapist that you built a rapport with. You could also, if you have a trusted friend, have a friend to talk to. Or my favorite thing is to journal. This is a time of giving. And maybe if you sit there and you have those memories, like for example, if I had a chance to go to a Kris Kringle Mart, despite what happened the other day, I'd be there. If I could create a Kris Kringle Mart myself, I would. But that's a tradition that's been ingrained in centuries over there. But there's also the fact of giving. You have wonderful memories instilled with you. In the service, we were able to make the best out of nothing. It's the most beautiful thing ever. We are innovative as soldiers and veterans. We are survivors. But we have to acknowledge when we're going through our thing, going through our low points, which it's normal. Soldiers go through low points. Airmen go through low points. Seaman goes through low points. We acknowledge it and we do what needs to be done, which is ask for help. We vent. We share. We speak to others when needed. I know this is a hard time. This is especially hard time for me because I miss my buddies. I miss the misadventures we used to have in my 20s, which is about 30 years ago. I miss having them around and that feeling of brotherhood and sisterhood. But you could always develop that with those around you, or you could just keep in touch with them. It's all up to you. Life gets hard. And again, this season makes it a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder around this season, which is understandable. As you get older, I don't know the age group of veterans that might run across this. We also have, unfortunately, when the time comes for those of us that we love, like our parents who are older than us, when it's time for them to go, the time and the hour is never convenient. I'd like to find out how people deal with the blues, how they deal with that time. Because it helps. We help each other by sharing that. We have grief. We feel lonely. We feel, at times, we feel betrayed. But we have purpose. And with Buddy Check, I think that's the most important thing to remember. You have purpose. You are appreciated. And you are essential to somebody, whether you know it or not. Everybody's essential to somebody. Are we taken for granted sometimes? Yes. But when we raised our hand those 2 times, and those who know knows, we took a vow. So we weren't looking for appreciation. We were looking for our purpose. If you don't, if I ask you what is your purpose and you can't answer me, then it's time to get creative and create your purpose. Create a purpose that makes you proud and is beneficial. We can't serve our entire life. Oh my God, if you asked me to go in right now and run, oh, it'd be horrible. I'd be profile queen at this point, and the aches and pains would not be, I'd be very vocal where I used to be silent. But at the same time, I found my purpose to a point. Even if somebody jumps on this live stream now, or if they jump on the live, if they run into this video when it goes back up later on, I have my purpose, because we need a reminder. I got your 6 and you mean something to me. I always share this story, and I'm going to keep sharing it. And I don't think the person that I'm speaking of here has seen this, nor I don't think they're going to run into it. But I had 2 buddies in my darkest hour. When I mean darkest hour, I mean homeless, not knowing how I could move on, go on in life, because it was a difficult time. And I never mentioned that to these individuals, but they knew. They knew I was having a hard time, because buddies watch each other. We see what each other post on Facebook, on X. If you're off the grid, well, through the texts and the phone calls, we know when we're having issues. And they knew I was having a hard time. Not that I was going to call it quits, but if things kept going, I probably would have. And I share this to say that everybody goes through that time in life. And here they came. They literally traveled. No, one of them traveled. One of them called me for a month straight. It was like an everyday monthly call. One of them literally traveled. She didn't travel specifically for me, but she traveled over, and we had dinner, we had phone calls, and it was a reminder. And I can't stress this enough, and I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, and you're going to get sick of hearing it at everybody check. It was a reminder of how appreciative people are of your existence, of your of of you being around. And I could never ever repay that form of generosity and that reminder I was provided. And it's important to keep touch. It's important to be reminded of how special you are as an individual, how essential your time served has been to those who served with you and those that have benefit from your service. And you have to admit, we still have a republic. We still have a country. We still have safety. We are not in a war zone, and this is due to your contribution to this country, to your country. Granted, unfortunately, there's not a lot of thank yous. There's not a lot of parades. But you're better than that. And you don't need that because you know within your heart, your soldier's heart, that you have contributed positively to humanity in this country. It's uh it's a Christmas gift in itself. Think about it. Those that are going to go to midnight mass on Christmas Eve, those that are going to have their spiritual observance on this very day, which happens to be a Sunday, or yesterday, which happened to be a Saturday, if you celebrate the Sabbath that way. Those gifts that people get to have, the conveniences, no matter how little your contribution, help that come along. I'm part of employee resource groups at work. And one of the groups that they have is the veterans group. And actually, I was quite surprised when I'm part of the veterans group, and I was speaking to one of the leadership there, and they didn't know what buddy check was. So for those of you tuning in who are unaware, let me explain what buddy check is. Which will explain why I am big on harping on you are appreciated, you are special, you are a contributor to society and humanity. We have an epidemic where we lose 22 soldiers a day. It's been an epidemic for over a decade, probably longer. We just started, they started monitoring it most recently. And to avoid this, the VA, a lot of veterans have decided to conduct what they call buddy check. Now, the VA has it, I guess, for a week in October. Social media has it every month on the 22nd. Now, many people have used this as a way of reaching out to people they've served with, just to make sure everything is okay, because we do hit rough points. And for some reason, us soldiers take it a little bit harder than most. Once a soldier, always a soldier. So there's no such thing as an ex-soldier. Sorry. Prove me wrong. But I used to use my Facebook and my Instagram, which I'm not on Facebook that much. I'm trying to, but social media. Anyway, so what I used to do is every 22nd, I do a roll call, because Facebook, the reason why I joined Facebook and the reason why most soldiers and most veterans and join Facebook is to keep in touch with those that we we used to serve with, because we go to our own lives. Many people go into the corporate world, go into cities. Many people, have a lot of them, go off the grid. And many of them just live in the woods, or they live in rural places. And everybody goes home for one reason or another. So this was our way of checking in. Because like I said before, life gets hard. And we watch each other go through the ups and downs. And we provide support, because we know what it is to look out for our buddies. So I did the roll call. And when I hit my low point, because I didn't hit the low point till what I just explained, I didn't understand the importance of keeping up with your buddy. I would check with them. We would make plans. Plans never would come to fruition because, life gets in the way. But that phone call, that text message, that I am, meant a lot. It meant that I wasn't forgotten. So I'm going to hold buddy check every month on the 22nd. So those who think they're forgotten realize they are not forgotten. You are not forgotten. Whether I served with you or not, you are not forgotten. Because you were special to the people you served with. You are special to the people in your lives, no matter how minute the interaction is that you have with them. You are special to them. And we're humans. We tend to forget that. You need to be reminded. I'm going to do my part so we could bring down that 22 a day. You have a purpose. You are appreciated. Your time was well spent. Good, bad, don't matter. Indifferent. Your experience is treasure, is gold to somebody else. People are stubborn, they won't admit it, but it is. So you have to remember this holiday season. You may have the holiday blues, whether it's you can't get the gift for whoever that you want, or you can't get to the people you want to get to. You are still appreciated and you still have a purpose. All right, you can't get to the person you want to get to. You can't get to your family dinner or outing or special occasion like you want to. If you know of a soup kitchen that you could go volunteer for a couple of hours, no, it's not your family, but it's giving to your community, giving to humanity. It's giving you at that moment a purpose. You don't have that feeling of Christmas, which, trust me, I suffer from that a lot. I've been struggling with it for a couple of weeks now. I'm not feeling it. Hit the kitchen. Make your favorite dish. You can't cook so well? I'm sure there is a restaurant near you that has it that you could order it from. That one dish. Or you know someone who can cook better than you that can cook it for you. Or try at least. My main purpose is, during this holiday season, it's important to hold on to the joy, to the specialness, to that feeling you used to have years ago.
MDD, Don's family, or 3 others.
That feeling you used to have years ago. Hold on a minute. My apologies. That feeling you used to have a long time ago. You could always bring it back up and it's not gone. Because as long as you are here with us, you could always create it in your vision and you could share it and pass it on to the next person. I didn't realize how long I was talking for, and I did start a little late, but and I did have to kill the spaces, which I do apologize. I'll fix that for later, and we will have spaces going on at the same time, and I may be also adding this to Facebook or Instagram. I haven't decided yet, but I will see you. You will have a happy holiday. I know you will, because you make the best out of everything. Happy New Year, because you had wonderful memories this year, and next year is going to be even better. And I will see you next month on the 22nd. That'll be a date. It'll be the day after inauguration, 2 days. 2 days after inauguration. So we shall see what this world would be like. And many blessings.